Look, the 2.5 announcement is really, up from 2.3% of GDP. It is just kind of filling in a few of the very, very many gaps that we have in our forces, readiness, munitions, stockpiles, all the rest of it, right? And actually, to do credible defence of the Euro-Atlantic area with allies, and they would also need to increase their spending. We're looking at 3% as an absolute minimum, probably 3.5, right? So that 3.5 from where we are now is another sort of 25 to 30 billion pounds per year on defence. And that's about buying more capability. It's also about increasing the size of the army. It's about our munition stockpiles, right? It's about the defence industrial base, the whole of our defence, from raw materials to factory to supply to capability to personnel, everything is salami sliced and stripped bare and not in a fit state. And I'm not sure the public is. I think it's really important that MPs lead on this and make sure the public are aware of just how poor a state our forces are in. So the Lib Dems have been arguing for a little while now that it's a 3% absolute minimum floor, and we've invited the government and the Conservatives to come together cross-party to look at how we do that, because it's a mixture of spending cuts, tax rises, and debt. Right? If you look in Europe, they're looking to fund their defence expenditure through increased debt. Germany's looking at reforming its debt brake. The EU's changing the debt rules, all the rest of it. And if we come together with three parties, we remove the politicking out of it. It will obviously be a combination of all three. But if it does involve debt, then going to the bond markets, because that would mean, changing the fiscal rules. If we've got the three main parties in the UK going to the bond markets and agreeing, that makes it easier for the government to borrow that money at a lower rate of interest. And so that's our proposal, is that we actually sit down and talk about this. This is a national emergency and we need to get ahead of it. And the idea that you can spend 3% at some point in the next parliament is for the birds with the current threat environment and the current state of our forces.